Spirit Rider all day and all night.
My name is Fred Grace. I'm going to be your coach, mentor, and trainer for today. In just a quick session, I'm going to give you the lowdown about the Space Force, about the fourth state of matter known as the electromagnetic field, and then we're going to talk about this plasma generator, which is the key to the universe. And if you want the keys to the universe so you can unlock the universe for yourself, you're in the right place. So just continue to listen, because I'm going to explain the electromagnetic field and the fourth state of matter next.
Spirit Rider.
It's a good day to have a good day. It's a good day to have a good day.
Today is a good day. We having a good day? All right. So look, plasma generator, first step. We're going to ascend the pyramid. And we get to the top of this. But right here at the working man's level, we have to work. So that means we're going to put nature against each other. Okay? So there's many ways to do this. Magnets. Yeah, when you push them together and they don't want to go, and then you start spinning them, like counter-rotating, because you have to rub them. You're kind of rubbing it. So you spin one way, the other way. So clockwise, counterclockwise. Push them together. Oh gosh, that's the frequency generator. Be careful, because if you're not a musician and you don't know what an octave is, and you don't know what the scales are, you might you might get lost with that one and reverberate a structure, or possibly cause earthquakes, or that device could head to the ionosphere and start spinning out and create storms. So, and now that all sounds fun to you, right? Then you're in the right place. Okay, because a plasma generator is next. So there's a Gauss meter, and the Gauss meter, you can measure the strength of magnetism. Okay. So it gets a little scientific. We're kind of on a different level here, so join the class. Oh, and about the hat, right here, compass. And right up here, we have a lens. Yeah, baby. We're going to cover the plasma generator and some of its extraordinary capabilities. Now, these capabilities of the plasma generator have touch on the fringe, because they are using the electromagnetic device, and we're getting a lot of recreatable phenomenon. Okay, so like invisibility, where it disappears, that is been worked with. We can control that, believe it or not. So anyway, we have the plasma generator, and we're going to explain that as earlier with the magnets, you have to rub them against each other. So this is how you put the forces of nature together. And there's little subtleties that Boyd Bushman goes through. You might want to listen to him a little bit more. But Boyd Bushman used magnets to create a field, and we're going to use a magnet. The plasma generator is basically a magnet. It's a bar magnet with a north and a south. And it does a phenomenal thing. It taps into the dark matter, where using the vacuum of space. So, or just using the vacuum, but it directly aligns with the space, like space, because you're tapping into star power, man. This is star power. That's why NASA keeps all this out, because this plasma generator gives you the ability to create a star, and stars are out in the vacuum of space, and you're actually using the vacuum of space to create that little star. Now, there's other things out there in space, so you can make those too, okay? And that's the real big secret. That's the just the little subtleties I can't talk about, okay? So let's just take the plasma generator for what it is, and let me explain to you that you can create dark matter, a just a little teeniest, like, formation of a black hole, and it starts spinning emptiness, and that emptiness pulls at the atoms. We're sending particles through. Those particles are separating in half several times, and what's coming out is because we're transmutating elements, we're cracking it. It has an atomic nature, so we're getting a different radiation. You got alpha, beta, and gamma that they all taught us in schools, but I'm telling you, there's another radiation. It's more in the fairy tale realm, and it deals with the medical field. The plasma generator can create a electromagnetic field that can reduce scar tissue in the human body. Now you're saying, how can you do that? But it happens over time. You have to spend time in that environment near the plasma generator. Something phenomenal. Many phenomenons are associated with this, but apparently the vril, or the electromagnetic field, it's aware of you and your consciousness. So the electromagnetic field knows you. That's what's so weird, because it goes through all of us. We're matter, you know. We have matter, and we breathe a gas, and we drink liquids, but we all have this electromagnetic field rolling through you. That's why it's always good to have a good heart. You have a good heart. Keep yourself clean. Next thing is the plasma generator. You have a vortice. Okay, I told you about these subtleties, and you're just gonna have to go on this one. Just listen and believe me. You could take cold air, and it wants to go through a tube. Cold air, you're pulling it or pushing it through a tube. Either way, pull or push. That air is going to want to naturally vortex. Cold air vortexes counterclockwise. Hot air vortexes clockwise. So hot is clockwise, cold is counterclockwise. We also have another phenomenon happening. We're talking about expansion and contraction. So we're like tapping into all the cold contracts, hot expands, and you got them turning, and one wants to get small, one wants to get big, so that the little guy wants to go inside. The cold goes inside the hot, and these are tubes. This is all tubular. And then on the inside, there is a rod, a magical rod, magnetic. It's has a charge. It has a little charge. You put a magnet on one end, a magnet on the other end, and you just leave it like that overnight. You could even leave it there for days. Come back to it, and whenever you need it, it's there. So this rod, it has a bullet in, like the front. The front is the south. The back is concave, and it's kind of like a radar dish. It's concave, and it focuses in nothingness. As that vortice, the cold air comes through that electromagnetic field, because as the cold goes one way and the hot goes the other, it makes that rod into an electromagnetic magnet of some type. This is huge particle science, vapor technology, vapors. You can put mercury in there. We all know mercury is a metal. It's very conductive, and it expands and contracts. So as you use this stuff against each other, you can put mercury in your fuel on the plasma generator, and then you are gonna, probably the first thing you're gonna hit is you're gonna hit that invisible pipe, right there where the reactor or the pipes go back and forth, and that rod is in there. That's gonna turn invisible. Okay, you're gonna be like, what the? And you grab a stick or something. Don't use your hand, but poke it, and it's there. It's there. It's light bending technology. Your eyes can't see it. We're just a membrane away from a multiverse. So this is a free energy device. They don't want out, because this one, like I just said, does everything. So we're transmutating the elements. I told you that's where the radiation comes from. As you transmutate the element cracks, which is atomic. It will break down into the 13 lowest elements, and one of those is not even on the periodic table. It's known as pangetium for Paul Pantone. Pangetium, it implodes instead of explodes. It's a gas. It's in between hydrogen and helium, and it's throughout the universe. It is. So but it's not here, so it's a meta material, and that's where they classify that stuff. Anybody want to go corporate? Anybody got some funds, want to keep themselves away from it, and what do? We incorporate. Give me the lab. I'll show you. We take one device, and now we have an engine that goes in hyperspeed. You've seen it on TV. You've seen it on YouTube, pardon me. They are talking about hyperspeed. The president himself said space is a warfighting domain. Now let's come out with a vehicle. We could travel in hyperspeed, okay? We don't need, what we need is a team. We need a team, and we could start mining. There's mining operations. Did I tell you the gold on the moon? The moon is full of gold. There's gold. And I know where to go. It's near the poles. Think about it. Let's talk more about vortex knowledge and the plasma generator coming up in the next episode.